another sleepless night, sitting here, wishing I was dreaming, only able to focus on one thing. The fear that I'm gonna miss something that'll ruin the whole project, make all my work for nothing. If I can't sleep, there's gotta be something I can do to make up for it in the present. The car's not even back together and I'm already worried it won't run. Sure, it looks like it has an engine again, but there's still missing pieces. And what's worse is I could be missing something entirely. It's not like I've put it back together before. Still, as if in some semblance of doublethink, I want to get this car started so I know. I'm way too torn on this. It's almost like I'm attached to the process of working on this car. And it's not like I'm losing motivation or anything, but I'd be lying if I was saying that approaching some sort of a finish line, i.e. starting the car, wasn't terrifying. But there's no other way forward, especially since at this point, I truly do have all the pieces I need to start it. Still scary though. A lot easier to just say it's in progress than set an actual deadline and hold myself accountable. Probably easiest to finish the vacuum system as, from what I can tell, there's only 2 pieces left. The 2 bigger lines that connect both sides of the valve covers. And these aren't any sort of a mystery. There's really only one place that each of them can go. And I guess while I'm at it, I should toss in the other easy to find pieces. The fan, the coolant bottle, none of these are confusing. And after a clean, they really do slot right in. I also can take some time to put the front end back on. I'll need to connect the radiator to start the car after all. I'm definitely not putting the bumper on yet. That's way too much commitment for something that could need to come right back off. I'm just not ready for it. That would make it too real, like it's an actual car and not just a project I work on. It scares me how close this car is getting to running. At least I hope it does. No matter how much I try, I'm still scared I'm gonna miss something. Doubting if my efforts were worth it, worth continuing, or even just good enough. This is some sort of a dream that never seems to end. Something that so intently consumes your thoughts, you hardly even notice the passage of time. Trippy to say the least. That being said, I might as well make a little more progress. It's not like I'll be able to focus on anything else. Vacuum system's done, coolant lines are ran, and it's really only the intake that's left, isn't it? Too bad, like all the other reused parts, these are utterly filthy. Probably worth my time to fix that, or at least make them passable. With the intake cleaner than it was, I figured I'd give the covers the same treatment. And I'm not usually one for plastic covers, but since they're all here, I might as well see what they look like. I don't know if I've had a car that wasn't missing plastics before. I also wasn't too sure if I wanted to put a cone filter on this car or not, so I figure until I want to bite the bullet on a real upgrade for this car, a high flow panel filter will probably get the job done. OEM Plus style too. Wow, that's actually a lot to take in. It's not groundbreaking, I guess, but it's still cool I was able to put the engine back together at all, especially since I kinda just jumped in blind. I mean, there's gotta be something I did wrong. There's just no way it's done. I just can't really explain it. It's like for some reason I'm afraid to say that the engine is complete for now. And even then I add the words "for now" to remove finality, like I'm actively avoiding trying to call something finished. I'm not gonna start it now though. I mean, I'm sure I'm forgetting something. I'm just gonna think on it for a bit. Not scared, not avoiding something, totally just thinking. As much as I'd like that car to stay a project forever, eventually it'll have to make it out of the garage one way or another. I've got other big plans for in there, ones that I'm just about ready to start as well. Still, knowing that doesn't make me any less nervous. Okay, fine. Maybe I'll try and start the car, but I'm sure I did something wrong. And I mean, if I start the car with the covers on, I won't be able to diagnose it. Might as well take them off. And I mean, at that point, maybe I should just take the whole thing back apart and call it a day. Then it's a project again. Then I don't have to know if my efforts were in vain. As much as I wish I could avoid it, I think my only ticket to a good night's sleep again is knowing if this engine actually runs and if the knock is fixed or not. If all my work was worth it or not. So I guess I ought to put some fluids in the car so it has a fighting chance. And this is one of those rare oil changes where I don't plan on changing the filter. Normally I'd change it every single time. But since this car has been sitting with open valves for who knows how long, I'm treating this first oil that I put in as some sort of a flush. Intentionally knowing that filter is going to catch everything and that I'm going to do another oil change in a couple weeks. Looks like the oil change went without a hitch. No idea when it was last changed, but I'm glad it is now. This is the part I'm really concerned about. Did I forget a coolant line? Will the fix for the water pump even seal? Or is all of this just gonna end up on the floor? Huh. Well, I mean, that's a good sign. No more leaks than there were before. I guess I didn't forget a coolant line. I can't really bleed the air out of the system since the car's not running. It will, however, be a lot easier to bleed than a turbo car simply because it's a lot simpler of a system. Honestly, I can probably get most of it just by squeezing the lines from the radiator, filling it up, waiting for it to drain down, and repeating until it stays where it needs to be. As much as I would like to never know, I don't know if I can anymore. No wonder most projects go unfinished. It's a lot easier to get attached to a process than to really know how it ends. And even though this is really only the beginning for this car, it could be the end of a project that's taken a couple weeks. And not knowing if that ending's gonna be good or bad, I think, is what honestly scares me. So attached to the process, I never questioned how it could end. Well, here goes nothing. Either the motor is toast, or the car starts up. I'm expecting the tensioners to slap until they get oil pressure, but if it doesn't die down, we've got an issue. Time to find out, I guess. No crank, no start, nothing. It's almost like I forgot to... Well, I guess that's what I get for being so focused on other things. And since this car's been sitting for almost half a year, I don't even know if the jump pack will do the trick. Worth a shot, I guess. Nope. Completely and utterly stone dead. Plus the battery is 5 years old anyways. Well, I guess now I've got another dilemma. Do I impulse buy a new battery so I can start the car today, or do I use this as another sorry excuse to wait? I need to stop looking for a final reason to say no, a final reason to not continue. Maybe I'm ready, and maybe I'm not. At the end of the day, does how you feel about being ready even matter? Maybe some things just happen when they happen. I've just got to learn to go with it, don't I? Turns out, all that work wasn't for nothing. The car was running again, and despite all of my worrying, it sounded healthy. Sure, there's some sort of a whine from the serpentine belt, but the engine itself works. At that very moment, that was all I needed to hear. It wasn't, however, a night where I slept any better than I had been. This time, it wasn't because of worry though. It was because I was finally excited to see how this car drives. And that's a trade I'd make any day. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider dropping a like and subscribing for more. That's the best way you can help support me and my content. Either way, I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thank you again. Have a wonderful day.